1:01, I'll call this Planning Commission meeting to order. Planning Commission meeting for March 27th. And just a quick announcement, if anybody's here, because there's been if you haven't heard, there was a topic called crypto mine that's going to be on the agenda. It's not on the agenda anymore. It has been pushed to April as of right now. All right. We will go through our Planning Commission agenda. First item is we have quorum present. Said Commissioner Wilhite. We have the approval of minutes for February. There was the public hearing where we there was a public hearing with Taco Bell in the commercial building. That portion of the site plan hearing, or public hearing for that site plan. Probably received a copy of the minutes in your packet. There was no public comment on either the Taco Bell or the commercial building. And then we went straight into the Planning Commission and had some discussion on the site plan. And then we also had the mobile food truck item. That was part of that activity from last month. Are there any comments at this time? Otherwise, I'd entertain a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Brian.
I second that motion.
And we have a second. Brandon. Okay. Any other comment? If not, all those in favor of approving the minutes as presented for February 2025, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? And there are none. All right. Do not have any old business. We will move right into the new business. Replat and variances of lot 23 through 33, Hill Farm subdivision. And we have 3 copies here this evening. And if you don't mind, just go through the normal procedure of introducing yourself and make sure that mic's on because they are trying to record it. And then I'm going to have you explain kind of what's. Let me give a little context here, if you could. So, I think this was back in January. Y'all reached out and were asking, hey, and I've got an email from Trey Foster from the city engineer, and there's some question. There was a question, or they were working on their final plat. I guess it's really final. Is it a replat? How would you characterize that?
It says replat.
Okay, and they have divided the lots, and they were asking. In long story short, my reaction was, hey, I don't really want to sign off on anything without the Planning Commission hearing it, so to speak. Trey Foster came back later and was like, hey, this is something that's really, I don't see an issue with it at all. It seems like it's very common. I think there was a question at first whether it was common or not, and then y'all showed, hey guys, people do this all the time, so to speak. And so, if you don't mind, but it still came before, the commission just to be sure everything's final as far as that goes. Did I characterize that correctly?
Yes, and it's actually 23 through 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. They're over 95 foot, so we don't need a variance on those.
Okay.
So it's actually just 6-0. What it is when we raise that land out of the floodplain, to keep the homeowner from having to have flood insurance, if any part of that lot is in the flood, then they would have to have flood insurance. So for us, we had to slope the back of it down to the next property, and we took that 18 foot and made it a separate lot.
That is 18 foot. That was just in that flood.
It's just in the flood, and so the house pad is not in the flood, so they don't have to have flood insurance.
Okay.
And what we want to do is we need a variance for setbacks to keep both of those lots. They'll stay together forever
And tell us the mechanism on why they stay together forever. Is it here on the drawing? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it's contiguous lots, okay, for the single purpose.
Okay.
So that's what we're asking for, those 6 lots.
Okay. And it's basically just to help the homeowner not have to pay flood insurance. Because they are, I guess, in some ways they're considered 2 different lots and A and B. That's kind of how you label them, I believe, on the drawing.
That's exactly right. Yeah, that's what our engineer told us, yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, we got with the city engineer, and he said that's.
And would the part that's in the floodplain still be deeded to the homeowner?
It's all stays
It's all
together.
deeded to the homeowner,
Yes.
but then they have a separate lot that's not in the flood zone so that they can mortgage that and not have to have flood insurance.
Correct.
I'm glad you spoke up because this is her ruling.
And apparently
And
that's
it's
common.
expensive.
Yes,
Flood
it is.
insurance is expensive. It's almost as much as your homeowner's policy in some cases, so it can keep somebody from being able to buy a home actually with the price of it.
Any other questions, concerns, what they're proposing?
So just for clarification, I mean, that, they'll never come back on the city as far as the upkeep of it or anything like that, because I mean, it's just one of those things like, you know, some of the ditches and stuff like that kind of become.
So my understanding is A and B, is, if you're buying A, you're buying B.
Right.
And so it's all
They
there.
can't be separated.
So if they don't upkeep it and everything else under city ordinances, they can be ticketed and everything else too.
Mhm.
So I just don't want it to be an eyesore for.
Yeah, that's their personal property.
Yeah.
This is on the back side, or,
On the east side,
yeah, I went over there, it's on Farmhouse Circle, right? It's on the back side, according to this map that I was looking at. What part of the lot?
So,
Yeah, explain, I don't understand. So you have the lot, this is the lot, you're gonna split it, this is the whole lot, we're splitting into 2 lots, A and B.
this is slopes back down to, Fort Johnson.
Yeah, on that, on the back side, the street over here, Farmhouse Circle,
Yes.
is here.
Yes.
And so you really just taking this little 18 feet right here and making it big all the way through the creek. It looks like it's high enough.
If any portion of it is through flood, then you have to Yeah, so by removing
The house looks like there's enough dirt in there that, what I would call. So you just take the very back strip along the fence, along that barbed wire fence there. Yeah, off of that. I'm with you, man. I wasn't, I couldn't figure out what part of the lot,
Right.
by my little mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay. Any other questions? I believe also, there's the issue, you still owe the city the maintenance bond. That's correct. And Trey Foster needs to be kind of part of that discussion.
Yes, we talked to him, I think Alan, my business partner, talked to him either today or yesterday, maybe this morning, and we're working out the details on that bond.
Right, so, the approval of this, provided we approve it, I'm making an assumption here, doesn't sound like anybody's against it, that it would still need to be contingent upon the city receiving the maintenance bond.
And so we're being asked to approve the replat and also grant the variance because some of the lots won't be
Correct.
the required.
Correct.
Is a
Is there
maintenance
any-
bond different than a performance bond?
So, then I had to go look it up, because I was asking.
Because the performance bond's 100%, not 50%.
So the maintenance bond is in the control and development, document that we have, like section 12.
Okay.
And there's a maintenance bond in there that talks about being 50% of the actual, utility improvement that was performed. And so I think the question is what's that utility improvement worth, basically? So in order for them to be able to purchase that bond, to the city, that's what Trey Foster, they were trying to get a hold of him, Trey, about that.
Okay, because I guess I forgot to do, we've done performance bonds many times, they're always 100%. We've never had to collect on one yet, except for where Domino's was, the parking lot, that was gravel, we had them go over years so they can get some money come in a different direction. And we've come that close to paving that lot. but they paid it right before we cashed it in.
Gotcha. Yeah, and so this maintenance bond is supposed to be good up to a year.
Correct.
In case any of those improvements will fall through or whatever else.
Gotcha, all right.
Okay? Any other discussion, questions? Does that cover you as far as you know?
All right.
All right. Does anybody want to step out there and Jeannie brought up a good point there. We're looking for any kind of recommendation to approve would need to include a final replat, but also to include the variance. And this says lots 23 through 33. And then also the maintenance bond.
Basically, Russ, can we put that into, language, please?
I'll make a motion that we approve the final replat, including the replat of lots 23 through 33. And grant the variance for lots 23 through 28 due to the part of the lots being taken out of the floodplain or being separated from the floodplain. Contingent upon the maintenance bond.
Sure.
Being placed.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Do we have a second?
I'll second the motion.
Second, Bob. Okay, any further discussion, any questions? All right, all those in favor of the motion and the, to approve the replat, the variances, as stated, please say aye.
Aye.
Are there any opposed? There are none. Motion carries. Okay?
Thank you.
You bet, I owe you a sign, some sign drawing before you get out here, buddy. Okay. All right. Any other announcements before we adjourn? I know we have Patrick, Bob, Brandon, appreciate y'all. I know we kind of had quite a bit going on, and as questions come up, especially with making copies like they have over the last couple weeks, you know, feel free, you know, I point you to Kelly, to kind of have as a resource and reach out to Preston as well, as far as questions or concerns, and then we'll kind of go from there. All right. Any other announcements? All right. We are adjourned, 7:14 p.m. Thank you.